of that first class, I don't think it can ever be duplicated, but 33 of us, 3 of us made fire chief. So we say, we don't think that can happen again. Not the way the system is now. Now it's a little different. In the past, it was appointed by the mayor. So at his whims, he said, I want you to be the chief. You're the chief. 2 years later, he said, I want to change. Time for you to retire. I want you to be a chief. So now we have a commission, so it's a little different, the setup on selecting a fire chief. So pay-wise, when we first came in, I was working for the moving vans. We'd move military personnel off base to base off the island. We were making about $400 a month. To come to the fire department, we were making like $305. So it was a drop, but we looked at it as security. You have a pension plan, you have a health plan. So a lot of us from different trades of life that made more money working privately became firefighters. 1963, we took that time, we were called, if you drive this hose wagon, you're a fire equipment operator 1. If you drove the engine, you're a fire equipment operator 2. And then lieutenant, captain, and so on up. So I made firefighter 3 and they assigned me to Kahuku Fire Station. That was definitely an experience, going to a fire just by yourself, tie a knot on we didn't have hydrants out in Kahuku. Tie a knot on the standpipe, drive down to the scene, come back, take the knot off the hook it up to the standpipe. Not standpipe, but an outlet, like a standpipe. After I got transferred to town, I became a firefighter. That time they changed the title from equipment operator 1, equipment operator 2, to firefighter 2, firefighter 3. So just terminology. And they had tore down, I was assigned at the old engine 10. That would be the goal line where the stadium is now. So in the development of that time, they tore down all these housing, was military housing converted to civilian housing. Really more like low-income people that were staying there. So as they demolished that, we go to fires like 3-4 times a day, building. These kids just torch the buildings. Nothing to do but torching buildings. That was a very, very busy station. Then while at that station, we formed, just prior to building the station, we formed the firefighters union. We never had a union before. Everybody belonged to HGEA. So finally we got a group of nucleus firefighters and said, we need our own union. So we tried to merge with the police on their union, but it didn't work out. So we formed our own local 1463. And I became one of the first field representatives. As a field representative, it was a hard job because you got to wear 2 hats. When you're on duty, you're a firefighter. When you're off duty, so-called, you're fighting administration, making administration follow the rules, you know. We had rules like, you go to sick leave 1 day, it's okay. If you go to sick leave 2 days, 2 shifts, you got to get a doctor's paper. And we felt that as a union representative at that time, it's discriminating where the other department didn't have to do that. So we represent the firefighter who said, you're going to be suspended because you didn't bring in a doctor's paper. So it was an interesting career working for the union and working with the department. 1976, the chief says, okay, to start off with, we're going to assign you to the training bureau. At that time, our headquarters was the old police station on Power Annex. So we sit there and the chief says, okay, you got a good task job ahead of you. We need to develop a training program. So what have we got? You got nothing. So starting from scratch, we had to start getting a training manual. And to develop a training manual was a hard project. Look, where do I start? What do I do? So I wrote to the Los Angeles Fire Department. We had the brother-sister program. And I got permission to use their training manual, adapt it to what we do, change the picture taking. So we started the training manual. The next problem we had was training our recruits. In the midst of training, we have no training center. We have no classrooms. We have nothing. So I pulled the captains together. We had 3 captains with us, and I said, okay, what are we doing now for classrooms? Well, we call the libraries, community centers, wherever they have rooms available, that's where we hold our class. So every day the recruits would go from one site to another day by day. So I said, wow, that's another problem we got to tackle. Then the old waterfront station at that time had folded up the engine company there, so all they had was the fireboat. So the dormitory was being leased out to a private enterprise. So got on the phone, made some calls, got them out, took over the training center, moved it down to the waterfront station, where it's still there, waterfront station. And we converted the classroom, the dormitory into classrooms. Then we needed chairs. We go to DOE, get some condemned student chairs, brought the student chairs over. We got a lot of firefighters that work part-time. Some worked for, that time was J.C. Penney. So when they'd go out to deliver new appliances, they'd get some refrigerators that are still good. Took the refrigerators, brought it down to our training site. We had refrigerators for the recruits. And air conditioning, tight budget. Our mayor was one of those that no money for improvements. What a difference. Our apparatus were old apparatuses. So air conditioning, we'd go to get those condemned air conditioning, fix it up a little bit, put them in the classroom, got air conditioning for our recruits. There was a big improvement. We had a place of our own that we can call a training center. But at least they had lockers to take a shower, things like that. So that was the start of the training bureau. Then we had graduation. It wasn't graduation before, just assigned to the companies. As you finish your training, that time our training was just 2 months. Finish your 2 months training, send them out to the company. So the recruits got together and said, hey, Chief, can we have a graduation party? Well, that's a good thought to think about. Okay, we'll set something up. So we made a graduation party, and we had a graduating class. So the chief kind of dictated what he wanted for the graduating party. So we'd have an outstanding recruit, would go get a trophy, physical athletic ability, another trophy. So we had different awards. So that started the program going. What was funny was that after the program, we'd all lined up, the recruits, and we said a fireman's prayer. Hey, something doesn't seem right over here. So I changed it. I said, well, went down to civil service and what kind of oath of office does the city have? They said, oh, we have a general oath of office that every appointee has to follow. Okay, we'll go along that line. So we changed that format. At the next graduation, the chief would say, no, come here. I said, what's this thing you have? It's not the fireman's prayer. I said, Chief, this is prayer. This is oath of office. Oh, that makes sense. Okay. So now we start the oath of office. And that's how the program progressed. And then down the years of going, we finally got one of our class of number one appointed fire chief. That was Mel Nonaka. At the same time, we had just gotten appropriations for the training center that we have now. So that was the start of the training center. That was 1980, I think, about 1980. 1980, I was assigned, I got transferred from Training Bureau to the 4th Battalion. At that time, 4th Battalion consisted of Aiea, all the way to Makua, all the way to Waimea Bay. So that was the 4th Battalion. Productivity, workmanship, camaraderie. That was important, camaraderie. We never had a uniform like this. It was a blue serge trousers, which is gabardine, you gotta dry clean, and plain black shirt. No patches, no name tag, no badges. So the only way you could be identified you're a firefighter is your cap with the badge. That's all we had to identify. Everything was dark blue serge pants, black shirt, no identification. But eventually, as Nonaka became chief, we could develop the patch that you folks now wear, name tags, badges. So we improved from back in 1957 to 1981. 1991, I became the deputy chief for Lionel Kamara. And in the meantime, Black Perry, I don't know if you recall the name Black Perry, but he was one of our presidents of the union. Very strong person. Strong-willed, strong-minded, physically strong. We got together with him and said, hey, Donald, come on to talk story with you. I said, yeah. What's this T-shirt thing you folks had before? I say, well, I got reprimanded for that by the chief because you can't distinguish yourself different from the other battalion and platoons. But I told the chief, I said, they were strict on sick leave record. Check the sick leave record. I am almost 100% non-sick leave. Why? Because fringes like this, it builds morale, they come to work. Okay, don't push it, but we'll let you go. So now Blackberry calls me in. I want to make this standard for all the firefighters. Help me out with the program. So now we got to look at that time when we did that program, I had told my battalion at that time, this has to be on a volunteer basis because there's no funds for the so-called T-shirt. Everybody agreed. Hey, we'll buy the T-shirt on our own. So now comes with the union. So Black says, we can't make the firefighters pay for it. I said, no, cannot. So what we'll do, we'll divert part of the funds from the normal uniform. Instead of 3 shirts and 3 trousers every year, allowable. 2 shirts, 2 trousers. And the other one will be allowed for T-shirts and baseball caps. Sounds good. So we worked with the mayor. The civil service approved it, got into part of the collective bargaining contract. And that was the start of the T-shirts that you folks now wear. Although the design has changed over a period of time. But we started off with just HFD fire. Now we got different format, I guess. But that was the start of the program of the T-shirt. We worked well with the union with the Black Prairie. And it helped me as far as being a field representative for the union prior to becoming chief, understanding management and the problems in the field. So we had a good administration at that time. I like to think that during my time, they would say, he did what we would have done. We had some high-rise fires. We had one by 4th Street where the lady tried to jump out of the window. We remember back in 1993, we saved her from jumping out of the building, stuff like that. We've had high-rise fires, but not like the one you folks had. We were fortunate. We did a lot of high-rise drills. I don't know how it is today, but we did a lot of high-rise drills, coordinating companies, assuming lobby control, all the base commands. We did that quite often. And we thought we were pretty good doing our drills. I don't know what happened on this Marco Polo, but it's just one of those things that happen. I think we did the best we could. I blame the fault on not having sprinkler system. But no matter how hard you fight, can't get it done. I got appointed to the Hawaiian Homes Commission by Linda Lingo. My goal was make the home safe. We talked sprinkler system. My goal was make the house safer. So I was fighting on the construction of the homes. And they bid for it. The last time before I left, the last bidder was Gentry Homes. And I said, I'd like to sprinkle all the new homes with sprinkler system. What would it cost the homeowner? He said, depending on the layout, anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000. How much? $3,000 to $5,000. So I told the committee, I said, $5,000 spread out of the loan for 30 years. How much a month? Let's go for it. Sprinkler loan. Don't wait for the law. Sprinkler loans for $5,000. A life saving is worth $5,000. Again, just like politics, you can't get the votes. Their theory was, gotta keep the price down so they can afford. But what is $5,000? It's rubbish today. I couldn't get it passed. But getting back to that, if it was sprinkled, we wouldn't have had all of that. So you talk cost factor. What price life? What price life? How much are we going to put on the life? Is she worth $5,000? But again, now we're back to this rescue, charging for rescue. That was one of our proposals. I said, we need these guys that don't listen to the warnings, High waves, they're still going out. We're going to rescue our lives, bring them in. We should, I told the mayor, we should have a law where we may, and again, as Mr. Mayor, I say, not shall, but we may have the right to charge them. Oh, he shot me down. He gave it to me. I'm the mayor, not you. But and I reading this smart paper said, same thing. But I believe that the word won't kill anybody. It may, not shall, but may be charged for the cost of rescue. We had a rescue back when I was working. Chang, Philip Chang. He was a rescue squad at McCully. There was a so-called missing hiker. So they sent out the rescue squad in Monroe Falls to look for him. He had gone out to the old pulley and came out by the pulley. In the meantime, Philip Chang slipped, fell down, the 7 falls or whatever he had there, broke his neck, he died. And this so-called reverend that was missing, so-called missing overdue, he said, oh, he died in vain, I wasn't lost. The attitude of saying, instead of showing some kind of compassion, well, they wasted a life. He didn't have to die, I wasn't lost. Then why are you 2 days overdue? But people should pay for sometimes some of this needless life that we put on before them. It's sad. How things will work for everybody concerned on what you do. What is right? I always believe the philosophy of love. What is right, not who is right. And I believe in that saying. When you do something that is right, not who is right, but what is right. And with compassion and good decision making, goes a long way. All time you could exchange time, like you're on the second watch, I'm on the first watch. I gotta go dinner. You come back for me 3 hours, relieve me, and I'll go. Then later on I'll pay you back. So we had this guy come in. Who's Eddie Omeda? Yeah. Okay, you can go. Okay. So the captain says, who are you? Oh, I'm so and so. What station you from? Oh, I work Pearl Harbor. You work Pearl Harbor? What are you doing here? Oh, my brother-in-law so and so supposed to relieve Eddie Omeda. He cannot make us so. He told me to come from for him. But you are a firefighter? No. What do you do? Pipe fitter? So what are you doing here? Oh, so he can go dinner. I came for relieve him. Stuff like that. It's so funny. There was a captain that I worked with, talk about the same station. His name was Tabal Kini. Real Hawaiian. We, like any fire crew, we eat together. He says, okay, what you supposed to cook? Every night I want my dinner. I want a plate of hot rice. I want a block of butter on top of the rice. And I want a cup of chili pepper water. Those days the captain was the boss. So every dinner we made, whatever we made, he would have this bowl of rice, block of butter, and a cup of chili pepper water. I say, Cap, you're gonna kill yourself. I'm Hawaiian, I'm tough. I said, I know that, Cap, but it's not healthy. Sure enough, he had a stroke, got paralyzed. Funny, the olden days, We had our class of 33 of us. This guy, he was a Japanese guy from Kauai. He had an upholstery shop in Kauai. Came down, became a firefighter with us. His first station was at Aina Haina. I think within a week or a month, he quit. But those days, those captains were, you cannot believe some of those captains. So uncouth. Nobody eats till I eat first. So they make the decision. And he turns and says, boy, clean that up. He said, why, Cap? Because I'm the captain. I say you clean that up. He couldn't take it, he quit. I saw him after he quit. I said, why'd you quit? He said, I cannot take things like that. But that's in the past. Today, things are not like that anymore. If I could change anything that's what's happening today that I could change, I can't see the tail wagging the dog. And I don't, that's my personal opinion. As an administrator, as a fire chief, Like I said, you have your team. You do investigative work, studies, before you implement your change or whatever betterment for the department. Whenever you do something, it's always, for me, it's always say, this is for the betterment of the department. What we're doing is non-political, non-biased. This is what we're doing with the best, to make the best protection for the people. I don't like obstacles. I don't like hurdles. Like anybody else, I'd like smooth sailing. I was a field representative for the union. It was different. From what I see today, the tail is trying to wag the dog, and I'm against that. I'm against that. You don't dictate to me about transfers. You don't dictate to me about promotions. You don't dictate to me about you gotta have so many people on the board. You are the union. You so-called, you are my competitor. You're not my ally. So don't make things rough for me. I read, and what I see Manny going through and all that, I said, I couldn't stomach that. I'd come out and have my way that make things right, or I'd retire and said, I can't take this. But the tail should never wag the dog. The department don't get better with that. And that's my opinion. And I think that's bad. And it bugs the shit out of me. But I think that's bad. I think from my time, from what I've seen and what I've experienced, the most productive fire chief, I think, was Leonardi. Like Frankie K and I, we talk about it. He said, wow, wouldn't it be nice to be chief with a mayor like Harris, Jeremy Harris? When you want something, here you go. You want it. Not taking anything away from Leo, but he was fortunate that Jeremy Harris was pro fire department. And you got basically whatever he wanted. And I thought for the time that he was chief and for his ideas that he had, he did well. He did well. I put him as the most productive chief that we've had. But he was fortunate, very fortunate. But he had good ideas. Leo had good ideas. He wasn't afraid to go get it. Drug program. When I became assistant chief, again, Frankie K and I were very good friends. He said, hey, I want you to take care of my drug program. What I know about drug? Send you a workshop. So he sent me a workshop. I also had help with, you remember Eddie? So he was sort of working with me. So we were on a drug program. One of the hardest things to do was that you doing the program. We had format that we follow. 1 strike, 2 strike, 3 strike, you out. Different guys come in with different reasons on drug program. And like I said, you gotta have compassion. You gotta see why and what. I've seen excellent firefighters come in under the drug program. What happened? What happened? Stories vary from, my wife was fooling around on me. I couldn't take it, I said, okay, what we're gonna do is, by the rule, first violation, rehab. If you deny the violation, and we have proof that you're lying, you're out. So the union works with us. The union tells you what you should say. So I say, first question is, are you under a drug problem? Yes, Chief, I am. How can I help you? I need help. What kind of help you need? Here's 3 places you can go to for rehab. You go to any one of these places, after rehab, you come back. Second time, we can fire you on the second time. But it depends on the circumstances. You may get a strike 2. If there's no dedication to the program, you out. Some couldn't do it. And it was a sad part to say that, we have to let you go. Not because you're not adhering to the program, and the most important one, the program won't take you back. If it's Hale Mohalo, would you take him back? We don't want him. He's uncooperative. We don't want him. If you're turned down by the 3 places, you're gone. You see firefighters that sometimes you feel for them. That was the hardest part. But somebody had to do the program. So I took the drug program, and I think we had it going pretty good. I brought people together. We worked as a team, and I was concerned for our fellow firefighters. Whatever job you are assigned, always make sure you leave it better than when you first got there. Don't try to do everything by yourself, because it'll drain you. Listen to different ideas, because whenever you come with an idea, my philosophy was, I have an idea, this is what I want to do. What do you guys think? My idea is going to go until you come up with something better. And somebody said, Chief, I got a question, yeah. What if we did it this way? This would be good point, okay, we'll put that into consideration. So have people contribute into your goals. Just don't be a one-man project and say, this is what I want. There was a saying of an old chief, I don't want to mention his name, but he said, you know what this is? It doesn't mean I'm number one. This doesn't mean that this is a priority. This is priority. And that was his first meeting with his staff. And the BCs had said, wow, what is this? But you have people that are like that. That should never be, see? Never feel like you're the one, we're a team. That's important. That's an incentive anybody should have. Get in there, not to say I be number one, but get in there so that while reaching that position, you can make changes to make things better for everybody, that everybody will say, thank God he's our boss. Well, it was a great run. I love my job. I think if I had to do it all over again, and I wish I could, I wish I was still here. 85 years old, I wish I was still working. This job built something loving here. Can never get over that. I'm one person, not one, but I'm one of many that feel like when I get up in the morning and my wife laughs and I say, thank God I'm going to go work today. I said, not too many people can say that. So when firefighters ask me, what do you think, should I retire? I say, my philosophy is this. The day you get up in the morning and you say, oh shit, I gotta go work today, it's time to retire. But if you get up in the morning and you say, I can't wait to go to work. People think you're crazy. Nah, nobody says that. I do. I can't wait to go to work. I can't wait to get back to work. When that hits you, that's an obsession. They call magnificent obsession. That's something that it's there. And I wish everybody felt like that. But like I said, my philosophy to guys was when you say you can't take it anymore, time to quit, then it is time to quit. Like I just told Manny Nevis, as long as you're feeling good, don't get out, stay. You're doing a good job. And as long as you have it here, your mind is okay, carry on, don't retire. That's it.